Keba, Rashantari Brava Kobra Hushantari Brava Hasutari Brava Hasha, Rabason Torobro Kubra Hashatara Hashi Kabi Raja Brava Keba Hashantara Mahasu Zatara Brahashi Tari Brahasu Rushi Brava Keba Hashantara Mahasu Zatara Brahashi Keba Bahasatara Brahashi Timos. Hello, everybody. Manfred, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. You know, for those of you who do not know, I am in Nigeria, Port Harcourt. I don't want to pinpoint my exact location in Port Harcourt. Now, the new year, this new year is going to be something that I not only begin with prayer, but I'll pray a lot. And I sense that this new year, in as much as it is going to be a year of a manifestation of things that I have wanted to see or things that God have planned for me, and a year of walking into new realms of prosperity and abundance. I just know that um, there will be financial independence for me this year. But there are a lot of things that I have to talk about. You know, I'll start live streaming more this year. And God has spoken to me last year leading into this year, you know, about capacity. And the thing that I'm going to do is in line with what God said, and I'll preach an entire sermon on it in one of the Alfred Bible Club podcasts. And if you are not subscribed to the Bible Club podcast, you need to be. You know, what are you doing? What capacity and grace is about is understanding and as God, what based on what God talked to me about. The grace that God gives you is in measures. Now you haven't received the Spirit by measure, but the grace upon everybody's life is not the same. Some people are blessed by God to have millions. Some people are blessed to pastor millions. Some people are blessed to pastor only hundreds. Some people, their level of influence, making the world a better place, no matter how much they try, is just their neighborhood that they can affect. Some people, they can affect the whole city. Some people affect entire nations. Grace is different. And life is spiritual. Sometimes when people do things because they don't have the grace, somebody else will do the same thing or do less and advance further than they do. It's a matter of grace. Not in every case, but there is that situation. I'm explaining to you what grace is. Perhaps you're a pastor and you can't seem to get past 50 members. You win souls and you win souls and you intensify winning souls. But the more you are winning souls, the old souls leave. So your congregation is still within that number of 50. It never goes past that. It's spiritual. You are winning more. The day you think that, oh, this is wonderful, you do an outreach and you win like 500 people or 100 people. Next thing, 50 people that were in your church before leave. So now you have only 100. Then by the time you are losing more, like 80 or so have left. Now you have only 50. It is just like that. You need an increased grace. And as far as grace goes, there's also capacity. Capacity is in what are you able to do? And when I talk about capacity, which is extremely important, capacity with reference to how much are you doing, you know, and are you doing everything that you can? Some people, for example, they run one company, but you have the capacity and you know it and you have the time and the know-how to run 10 companies, to start 10 new businesses, but you have only one. You are not operating at capacity. And it's until you operate at capacity, God will bless you and increase your capacity. God cannot increase your capacity. And God will not increase your capacity if you do not maximize the capacity that is already made available to you. For example, I now have the ability to make and publish music, make and publish comic, books, and a whole bunch of other things at the same time. But I'm not doing all these things at the same time. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to spread my capacity and do everything that I can do this year and maximize it. For example, if you're a basketball player, if you can train for 20 hours a day, but you are training for only 3 hours a day, why? Increase your capacity. And as your capacity increases, God will give you more grace. Remember what I said about the person with the 15-member church? So you have to expand your capacity, maximize your capacity rather, and God will expand it because the expansion of the capacity will come from God. It's not you. Are you operating at the maximum capacity of what you are able to do right now? Is there room for improvement? There should be no room for improvement with you. Operate at maximum, do everything that you can do. So there's no room for improvement. Then God will now expand you so that there is now room for improvement. And then you expand in that new realm, in that new dimension. So that's what I'm talking about. And, I'll go into that properly and in better detail in the podcast. But that being said, it's a new year and I don't know how the audio is, but you can hear light sounds of knockouts and banga, as it's called here in Nigeria, fireworks. And this is something that always happens around where I live. Every single new year. Now, this new year, it was the worst it has ever been. And they included gunshots. Now, for those of you who know, Nigeria is facing insecurity issues. So the idea of people shooting, and even I heard this a police siren passing. It's crazy. And I won't go into too much detail, but previously I prayed, I spoke in tongues, I declared peace and all that. And I'll say this. It has also brought to a reality that, and of course, God has been speaking to me about this before. The area where I'm living is not safe. Especially with some changes that are going on around. It's not safe because anybody or any group of people can come in with guns and start shooting. And apparently, there are a lot of guns in Nigeria that are interestingly in the arms of bad people and never good people. At least not enough good people. And Christians never have guns, at least in Nigeria. So a Christian is extremely vulnerable. And I would say this is something that should have been planned before this year. If anybody has the opportunity to leave Nigeria, they should leave Nigeria as quickly as possible. That's just the reality. I'll be shifting this live from YouTube to TikTok. So let me cut this live broadcast here. Thank you. God bless you.